Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how to use formal methods for subtraction, what some people sometimes call chimney sums. Now, the most important thing when it comes to any sort of formal sums, be it addition, subtraction or multiplication, the most important thing to do is to line up your columns very carefully. So in this case, we're going to be working with tens and we're going to be working up with units. So the units all have to be lined up and the tens all need to be lined up so that they form a column. So here we have 79 take away 43. So the 9 and the 3, which are the units, they're carefully lined up, and the 7 and the 4, which are the tens, they're carefully lined up. And with subtraction, we always put the largest number on top. Have our equal sign here. Now, this one is nice and easy because it doesn't involve any exchanging. 9 minus 3 we can do very simply, and that's just 6. 7 minus 4, similarly simple, we get 3. So we have our answer now, 36. Very quick and easy, no exchanging needed. However, let's look at a sum that maybe does involve a little bit of exchanging. So, again, being very careful to line up the columns, 783 take away 529. Now, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. The first sum is 3 take away 9. Now the answer is not 6. A lot of people look at this and they think, oh, 9 take away 3, that's 6. But we're not being asked 9 take away 3, we're being asked 3 take away 9. And we can't do that. That cannot be done. So, or at least at this stage, it can't be done. So what we need to do is we need to exchange. We're going to go to the tens column here. And we're going to take a 10 away. So we now only have 7 tens in this column. And we're going to exchange one of those tens for 10 units. So we are passing a 10 down from the tens column into the units column. So this, we lose a 10, but we gain 10 units instead. So we now have 13 units. 13 units. 13 take away 9, we can do. The answer is 4. And then we just carry on as normal. 7, because it's no longer an 8, it's now a 7. 7 take away 2 is 5. And in this column, the hundreds column, 7 take away 5 is 2. And we get our answer, 254. Let's move up a notch. We're going to do a little bit of exchanging over a couple of different columns now. So for this one, we have 913 take away 257. Now, the astute amongst you will be currently shouting out, 3 take away 7, we can't do that. And you're absolutely right, we will need to exchange. So 3 take away 7, not possible in this case. So we're going to exchange from this column. We're going to get rid of that 1, and it's going to become a 0. And the 1 is going to move down a column. What we have done is we have exchanged that 110 for 10 units. And we now have 13 units here. 13 take away 7 is 6. And now we have 0 in this column. It's 0 take away 5. Again, another problem that we can't do. And so once more we will have to exchange. We move up a column again. We're now in the hundreds column. And we're going to take one of those hundreds away. So we've gone from having 9 hundreds down to only 8 hundreds. But we're changing that 100 that we're taking for 10 tens. So we now have 10 in the tens column. 10 take away 5, we can do. 10 take away 5 is 5. Now lastly, 8 take away 2 is 6. So our final answer in this case is 656. Let's try one more, and in this case we're going to have to exchange quite differently. This one is a bit more of a challenge, but it is still possible. So 901 take away 437. Now, this is the point where you really have to focus. You need to pay attention here. 1 take away 7 we can't do. But there is a problem, a confounding factor. We can't borrow from the tens column because there's nothing in it. There's a 0 here. So instead, we're going to have to borrow from this column, the hundreds column. We're going to have to exchange down the way. So I go from the units all the way up to the hundreds. That's going to become an 8. Now, I cannot and I must not exchange from there all the way to the units. Remember, this is the hundreds. Every one that we borrow, or every one that we exchange, is worth 100 units. There is no sense in putting 100 in here. Instead, we exchange down one column at a time. So we exchange our 100 for 10 tens. But that doesn't help out our units. That doesn't help out our units at all. So we're going to have to exchange one more time. We're going to have to take that 10 tens, score it out. It's going to become 9 tens. And the 10 that we borrowed moves down to the units column. So we've changed our 110 that we borrowed for 10 units. Now, 11 take away 7 we can do. It's 4. 9 take away 3 we can do. It's 6. 8 take away 4 is 4. And we get our final answer, 464.